I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hello and welcome to Steelers Sanctuary's War Room with myself, Bob Quinn, and Trent King, who's going to walk us through some keys to today's game. This is a new segment. If you saw it, we did it as a segment on the Friday shows, but we're expanding it out to a whole show. So we hope you enjoy it. Trent, how we doing this morning?
Doing fantastic, Bob. How are you doing?
PG. Getting ready to hopefully watch a Steelers victory today, and maybe we'll find some things here on tape that we can exploit, and maybe the Steelers coaching staff will be watching us this morning to get some last-minute tips so we don't do some interesting things like we've done in the past.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to preface this before we get into the film here. So because this was a segment and it's being expanded out here, for anybody who's watching this live or when you're watching it back, give us feedback on what you're looking for, what you like about this, what you don't like about this, because Bob and I are putting a lot of time and effort into this. So we want it to be impactful for all of you. This is fun for us. It's not monetized for us. So it's just fun to talk about Steeler football. We love the feedback that you guys give in the chat. If you're familiar with the Steelers Sanctuary podcast or the Here We Go podcast, either one, we love your feedback. So please give feedback on this because this is something that's just for fun for us.
All right. So I think we're going to look at the offense first. Isn't that right, Trent?
We're going to go with the offense first, and we're going to focus on Aaron Rodgers. So this is a play that's 3rd and 7. Steelers come out in the 12 personnel. Muth is flexed way out to the top of the screen. Gainwell is offset wide to Aaron's right. And what they're doing with this, because they've been doing this more and more frequently each week, and you'll see him kind of at times he'll shift, at times he won't shift, but what it does is it's drawing the linebackers over, and they're trying to see if a team is in man or if this is a zone coverage. And in this play, Jonnu Smith gets a big chip on the edge of Broderick Jones' side, and that's kind of where I want the initial focus to go. This is actually the safety play from last week. So if we start to roll this film, you'll see Jonnu Smith at the bottom of the alignment spread just out. He gets a real nice chip. The Chargers end up running a stunt, but Aaron Rodgers gets very antsy immediately. He assumes pressure is coming, and he actually walks himself into this sack because Troy Falatonu recovers very well, and he's in perfect position. But because Aaron steps up and into, Mac is easily able to spin off Falatonu, takes Falatonu's leverage away, and that's actually what results in the sack on this first play. So this is something when we have been talking, if you've listened to the podcast, we're talking about Aaron not wanting to take hits. They're not wanting to, he's not wanting to stand in the pocket and deliver. And this is just an example of it. He's seen ghosts, in my opinion, because he felt like there was pressure coming off the Broderick Jones side and there was no one there. So he walked kind of right back into this sack. Had he just taken his time, he could have gone out and even left. There was plenty of room out to the left because the Chargers ran that stunt. I felt like this was a play where this is just Aaron Rodgers in panic mode. Excuse me.
I think we're going to see an even better illustration in the film coming up. I get what you're saying here. This one, I mean, he sees him getting beat, and he doesn't recover, and after the beating he took in the initial few games, I kind of understand a little bit why he might be thinking, hey, this isn't going to hold up. But this one, maybe you can kind of make an excuse for, but there's one coming up here that we really just can't make any excuse. It's just not
Play that one back one more time, because I thought when I saw, if you can, it doesn't matter if you do the full thing or just this end zone view, but you will see the stunt come through. And actually right there, you can see, I think what he saw was Spencer Anderson. He thought Spencer Anderson was getting beat because that was the guy who ran the stunt from the Chargers. And right here is exactly where I thought Aaron got panicked, because you can see he steps up as a result of that. But Anderson held his ground. It was just one of those things. It's very hard in the moment to go through, but here we are. Steelers back in 12 personnel. Muth again is flexing out to the top of the screen. Andres Pete is in guard right now on this play because we ran the jumbo package to play before. The eligible man reporting, which was Spencer Anderson, cannot be on the field as an ineligible player if he reports eligible. So that's why you see Andres Pete on the field here. So on this one, the Chargers are in 2 deep coverage. Aaron just clearly forces the ball to DK into a double coverage. The ball sails on him, which has been a trend in that game, ends up leading to the interception. But if you look, go back to the original start to this.
Yeah. Hold on. And just guys in the chat, we're pausing and manipulating the film. So that's why if you're seeing things paused,
yeah,
you should be able to see Aaron's throw right here.
Yes. And if he doesn't panic at the pass rush and doesn't get happy feet, Jonnu Smith is wide open underneath. We needed 6 yards for a first down. He easily gets this 6 yards. So he gets the chip. He comes right here. The linebacker's dropping. He could have easily caught that ball, worked through the linebacker to pick up 6 yards. He was already 4 yards downfield.
Yeah, you can really illustrate here. This is the play I was talking about where I can maybe defend him on the safety. He didn't even look. This is a rookie quarterback mistake. He was zeroed in on DK. He hit his back foot and threw it and didn't even bother to look where the safeties were. I mean, and like you said, if he just takes half a second and sees DK's got 3 guys on him, I'm going to Jonnu. I don't know if he was forcing the ball because DK only had 2 catches the game before, but this was really, really bad. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers do that.
Hold on. Is anybody else having this issue? Because Adam's saying that he's stuck in the Herbert in the shotgun. We haven't done the defense yet.
Yeah, we haven't done. The offense is what should be on the screen here. You should be seeing film playing now.
If you guys are in the chat, if you could just let us know if you're seeing the offense right now. Bob just went back toward the beginning here.
Yep, you should be. This is the interception.
That's the interception to DK Metcalf. Adam's still saying there's nothing showing.
Hang on. Let me go to a YouTube feed and let's see. We could be having technical difficulties live. Where's Greg when we need him?
He said it's been stuck with Herbert in the shotgun since he put it up. That's interesting.
Hang on.
Just so you guys know, Bob and I are definitely seeing the offense.
Yeah, we're seeing the offense.
We're seeing the offense, so we're going to try to get it fixed so that you guys can also see the offense and follow along with us here. Because
yeah, they're right. I don't know why it's doing that.
Can you maybe remove the defense from the screen, from the stage, and see if that helps us?
Okay, let's try this again, guys. Can you see it? I think we can see offense now.
Are we seeing offense?
Adam, are we seeing offense, buddy?
And thank you for giving us the feedback, Adam, because we went through this whole thing. You guys seeing absolutely nothing. So, Adam, thank you. You're a lifesaver, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, so let's start this back over. Let's try to let them see what we were talking about on this. So we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. So I appreciate you guys hanging in here with us on this one. So this is the safety play again. Aaron gets happy feet. I think he sees the stunt. I thought Zach Frazier and Spencer Anderson did a great job of picking up the stunt. You'll see it right here in the middle. They pick up the initial man. I think that's where Aaron thought the pressure was going to end up coming from, but Spencer Anderson, I thought, did. And that might just be a trust issue on his part right now, too, because he's not played with Anderson. Obviously, we don't have Isaac Seumalo in that situation. So I can understand a little bit of the happy feel on that one, like Bob was saying. But this is just a forced throw where he's on the first read. He never comes off the first read. This is something else we've talked about a lot, is he's been a one-read quarterback far too often. The problem is this is the one time he probably should have come off the first read and gone to the check down, and he's been doing the check down without really even paying too much attention to the first read. And in this one, he really doesn't do that. He just sticks on DK, and I don't care where you place that ball. This one did sail on him, but it doesn't matter because you were never fitting that ball into that window. I don't care how great he is, how great he's been over his career. I just felt like you're not fitting that ball in. That's he's got to know better as a veteran. I think that was that was a second down play. I think that was a second down play.
And really uncharacteristic for his career. He does make tight window throws, but he doesn't throw in the triple coverage. It's something is off. It could be he has zero confidence in the line. He could also have zero confidence in most of the receivers, and that he thinks the only way he can get anything done is to hit, DK on a quick in and go. But that being said, that's got to change this week, and it should change this week. I think we're going to look at Roman Wilson now, right?
We are gonna go with some Roman Wilson. So I've been talking about Roman Wilson quite a lot, and I'm going to show him getting open, but also making a bit of a mistake. So you can see him crossing on the top of the screen here, all the way across film. So go back to the beginning of that play, because there was two pieces of this that I think were very, very important in this. He's actually starting out at the very bottom of your screen right now, and you're going to see him run this deep crossing routes. And one of the things that I like is he does get the separation. You can see the corner playing the outside leverage on this, which plays into the favor of him running this crosser, right? So he breaks it across. I think the thing that I'd like to see in his progression as a wide receiver is to snap this route off. You can see him, he's right now at the 48. Look how far he continues to drift. Even now, as he's halfway across the field, he will continue to drift more toward the 40-yard line. This is a quarterback at 42 years old almost. He's rolling to his left. He does still have arm talent, but if he snaps that thing back off into the 45-yard line, he makes himself more available. He gives a much easier throw for Aaron Rodgers because he had the guy beat, but now he's making Aaron throw a little bit away from where the leverage is because the corner has a chance to catch up on this route. And Aaron doesn't make the greatest throw in the world, but again, he's not that mobile. He's moving to his left. He tries to re-square his body. But I think if Roman works back toward the quarterback in this situation, it is a much, much easier throw. You make yourself more available. If you were ever a wide receiver when you're Pee-wee or high school or anything, they always tell you to show the numbers to the quarterback. He's drifting too far in this route, but also look, he's the only guy open. So he is getting open. He just needs to learn to snap off his routes a little bit. That's something I'd really like to see him do, because this could have been a really easy pitch and catch. So if he just kind of went down the line at the 45-yard line rather than drifting down toward the 40 here, I mean, he opens himself up so much easier. There's plenty of room between he and any other corner on this field. They're in a man coverage already. He had plenty of room to work with there. He makes this a much harder throw for Aaron. Aaron underthrows the ball a bit. And I just feel like that was a play where you can see Roman is getting open. Calvin Austin is not getting open that much on film. Roman's getting open a lot. But this is the intricacies of being an NFL wide receiver versus a receiver at University of Michigan. He has to learn to work back to the quarterback in these situations to make it an easier throw.
Yeah, I think this is a really good point that he has talent. I mean, I obviously you would have liked to seen the ball maybe come out when he first breaks in, and then
Yes.
2 or 3 steps into that in cut, you would like to see the ball come there. But like you said, if he comes straight across on the 45 or even, comes back just a little bit, that's an easy throw. And for people who always talk about the Steelers throw chart and they like to throw them up on Twitter, not as much this year with Aaron Rodgers, but in years past, these are some of the things that makes sideline. This turned into a sideline throw that'll show up on a chart. This should have been an easy completion between the hash marks.
Yes. And I actually like the way the concept of this route worked, because they had Calvin Austin run straight up the seam, which pulled the safety away. That's what actually allows Roman to get open. So, you got 2 speed guys on the outside there. I like the way they used them to open this up. I thought this was a nice play design, actually, by Arthur Smith. And this is a route that Roman should win, and he did most of the time. So this is actually something, this is going to be my argument to play Roman more. Aside from that, he does a great job stonewalling the safety who's crashing down on this run play and leaves Jalen Warren one-on-one with a corner. Everybody saw the hurdle. We all know how the hurdle worked. Jalen's a fantastic player. I will take my odds every single game of Jalen Warren versus any corner in the NFL because they don't want to tackle this dude. But the way that I felt Roman Wilson stepped up and blocked, we've seen Calvin Austin try this time and time again. He's been running a lot of these, as a second receiver on these options. He's getting blown up in the run game. He's just too small. He cannot block. Roman Wilson, I thought, had a great block out of this. And he needs to just start getting more reps in this offense because you can use him in the run game much more effectively than Calvin Austin. He is the only receiver getting open because of the way they're, shell covering DK Metcalf on the backside. He's got to get more involved. And I think I've been preaching this for weeks. I'm trying to show it a little bit on film right now with a couple plays, not just in the pass game, but he is a much more effective player in the run game as well.
Yeah, Trent, and one thing for our Calvin Austin fans in the audience, David, if you're watching, I would say Calvin is willing, but not able. Roman
Correct.
is willing and able.
Yes.
So I agree. I think he's got to get on the field.
Yeah, because he absolutely stonewalled the safety. I mean, the safety was crashing down to make that play, and DMC says he's watching. So he definitely was coming down hard on that play, and I thought Roman did a great job of sticking his nose in there, making a great block. So this is going to be a Darnell Washington segment. So for everybody who is a Darnell Washington fan, that was the second play. So this was actually the second play on that. So Darnell Washington in this play, he needs to be on the field at least 40 snaps. I mean, he just takes their edge and stonewalls him, holds him out. That's the left tackle block right there. So we must have missed one of the
Yeah, I missed
clips.
I thought the pass was in there. I must have put the block in twice.
That's okay. So Darnell Washington, the play before the side, there was actually, these were back-to-back plays. I'll just talk about the reception for a second. Darnell Washington, number one, when he gets 40 snaps, we are 8-0. That's something, that's a trend, that is a pattern. That is something, if you're a coaching staff, you have to understand and utilize. When a guy is changing a win-loss, that's something you have to work with. And he is changing whether or not we win or lose based on his snap count. So if he's on the field for 40 snaps or more, we know it's not rocket science. Put the damn guy on the field. Don't take him off. I mean, it's just he's becoming the most complete player. And I'll say on the pass play that we missed on the clip here, he runs an in-breaking route. It's in a zone. Aaron threw the ball in a tight window. Now, everybody talks about how he's not a good receiver. I've got news for you. This guy is becoming more complete because he made a great catch. He absorbs the hit from the safety and holds the ball between two guys. That's not something that is a guy who's just a check down merchant as a tight end. That's a guy who's becoming a more complete receiver. And then when you see him in the very next play blocking a guy who's like, is he third in sacks right now, I think. The edge rusher for, I can't say his name.
Oh, did it go back too far? It went back too far.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, however you say his name. I mean, he totally stonewalls him in the run game. So I think Darnell Washington is becoming a complete player. Do not be surprised if this guy ends up getting paid $10 million. I got news for you. Dude, he's a very good blocker. He might be the best blocking tight end in the NFL. But now that he's getting more and more involved in the pass game, and Aaron trusts him. I mean, Aaron truly trusts him. He's putting the ball on him in tight windows, and that's something that I think is something to look out for.
It's going to be interesting to see today what role Washington plays versus what role the man we're going to see next, the Bengals killer, plays.
The Bengal killer. So we are going to highlight the previous Bengal game on this one, Pat Freiermuth. Now, here's where you can pause it right here if you can for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Rewind back slightly. You're going to see on the bottom of the screen, you have DK Metcalf as the outside receiver, And Pat Fryermuth is going to be in the slots on the bottom of the screen, same side as DK Metcalf. Now, if you watch the backside safety, right now he's basically standing over top of Muth, but look how far he will drift to go get DK Metcalf. This is the thing when everybody's like, why is DK not getting utilized? This is why. Every single team is just running the safety straight down to him. The corner is playing inside leverage. DK is running up the sideline, but that safety is coming so far over top, it actually opens Pat Fryermuth up on this play for a touchdown. We need to start doing this more often as an offense. We've got to take more shots downfield. Aaron's getting rid of the ball way too fast. But you can see Aaron holds the ball in this play for once. He has some pressure. He moves, slides, and makes a great throw downfield to an open Pat Fryermuth, and the safety drifts so far to DK's side he cannot recover. We know Pat is not the fastest athlete on the field, but Pat's a damn good receiver. He's a threat. And this guy continues to make these type of plays against the Bengals. I just thought this was a great, great opportunity to highlight not only DK Metcalf for the way he's drawn coverage, but that we need to keep getting guys like Pat Fryermuth more involved. And when they're in that two deep coverage, these seam shots are open. It's just open.
Which before we do the defense, I do want to just drop a fantasy nugget in here, and I almost made it my start of the week this week, but I went a different way. If you have tight ends on buys, now don't bench Trey McBride, but if you need a tight end this week, he's more than likely available. Fryermuth kills the Bengals. It wasn't a one game thing. His career, he has his best games against Cincinnati. So if you need a tight end today because people are on bye or you've got injuries, this is a guy you may want to look at. Now, I mean, if Aranda Gadsden is on your waiver wire because people in your league are stupid, okay, hey, maybe get a guy like that. But if the pickings are thin, Fryermuth could be a very hidden gem here today.
I actually had this one final point on my sheet before we switched to the defensive film. So Adam's 100% right. Jalen Warren needs to start out-snapping Kenneth Gainwell. I'm getting tired of this whole thing where Derek Bell pointed out he was not on the field for a single third down last week.
Which is ridiculous.
It's absurd. The guy is the best, most productive player on the offense right now. You got to get the guy on the field. I just don't understand it. So, Adam, I totally agree with you on that one.
Not to mention the fact, just one thing I would throw in on that, and Trent, you did a great job illustrating how the safeties are crashing on DK. Look, not all checkdowns are bad. If you tell me you got Jalen running that little route that Gainwell normally runs, and you give it to him one-on-one against a corner or a linebacker, look, those guys are bringing Gainwell down for 3 or 4 yards. You give Jalen Warren that ball in that space, and I'm telling you right now, those are first downs, not 3-yard gains.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen it throughout his career. I mean, he makes plays out of nothing a lot of times. So, absolutely. All right, Bob, you ready to switch over to the defense?
Yes, I feel like we already did.
We're going back. We apparently we were going to the defense. So I'm going to highlight the two deep coverage looks that we've been throwing out each week. So we're in a two deep. This is when James Pierre is on the field. It is not Darius Slay. Here's why the defense gets better in this situation. So the quick hitters to Jamar Chase worked against Slay repeatedly. Pierre is a more physical corner. He's longer. I think we're on. Wait, I might be in the.
This is the one he throws away.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So this still in the two deep coverage look. So I thought this was a great job here. Let me see if I'm on the right play because I think I'm on the wrong play here.
I could have it in the wrong order.
That's okay. That's okay. So this was
the one where Herbert kind of got panicked and threw it away.
Yes. Run that through one more time because I'm missing.
This could be the wrong play. The defensive file was corrupted for those of you watching, so I had to redo it on the fly very early this morning.
This is okay. This is actually, I was highlighting Jalen Ramsey on that clip, I think. The coverage on the back end and what they're using Jalen Ramsey as, he's not just staying in the 2 deep. They started out in a 2 deep look, but you can see Ramsey kind of creeps into the screen here, and they actually come out in a man, and Duggar is the deep man because Jalen Ramsey ends up taking McConkey out of here. You can see the pressure gets home. I felt like they were mixing and matching how they were doing the 2 deep look with Ramsey staying back, or a lot of time on third down, we were sending the blitz. I don't necessarily think we should be doing that against Cincinnati, but I like the way they're staying consistent and showing this 2 deep look because we've gone to it now, but we're also utilizing Ramsey's ability as a cover corner to come up. And he took McConkey on this play as opposed to just staying deep in the 2 deep look. I think it's just a great way of utilizing Ramsey's skill set. And then you had James Pierre in press coverage. You had Joey Porter Jr. in press coverage on this. That is the strength of Joey Porter Jr. I know the holding calls are coming. It's always going to come. It's just what this kid does. But his strength is in press man. And if you want to beat Cincinnati, you have to throw off the timing between Jamar Chase or T. Higgins and Joe Flacco because they're torching the NFL right now. The only thing you're going to be able to do is throw off the timing on that. And I thought that was just one way to highlight that. Let me see.
This is the play where they get home for pressure.
Okay. This is definitely the pressure play. Yes.
I got 2 angles of this one.
So I love the way that we came up with coverage. This is a great showing of how Keanu Benton is coming on as a force in the pass rush as well. So Keanu, this was not the Benton play. This Cam Hayward was up front. Derek Harmon.
Oh. What the heck?
That was actually the pass breakup.
The defense will look better next week.
Pierre. This was the James Pierre play he made. That was the one I really was impressed with the way he played off of that coverage on that one. This is more of the young guys coming in. And I loved how Keanu Benton right here. I highlighted earlier in the season, if you guys saw that, Keanu Benton was getting destroyed by double teams. In this play, he was either swimming himself out of position or he got blown off the ball. Watch how he fights through the double team right here, gets around and comes back to make the play. And the linebacker actually fills the hole for once. That was another issue to start the season that we really weren't doing. So as Benton is creating that opportunity because he's getting double teamed, you saw Malik Harrison step into the hole right there, but Benton fighting through both guys and coming in and helping to make that play, I thought was huge. It's huge in his development. I know the 4 or 4.5 sacks, whatever he's got right now, I think that is something that everybody's going to notice because he's never had more than 2. But now to see him fighting through double teams in the run game, I think that's huge progression for him. And it shows why this defensive line is getting better against the run.
And then David's asking here, think they try a 3-3-5? I don't think Mike Tomlin can spell 3-3-5.
I would love to see that, but they ain't going to do that.
Yeah, it's too bad, too good. It would probably work.
I mean, the Packers, that's exactly how the Packers beat Cincinnati when they played. Yeah. They ran that 3-3-5 most of the passing downs.
Trent, let me ask you a question, though, because, Benton, this is the contract year. Do you think they can get him on a song? Or is he going to command actual attention and respect across the league because I don't know if you can pay him $12, $15, $20 million if somebody comes calling with that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like if he continues to rack the sack numbers up, he is going to start commanding that kind of a payday. I think they're going to try to re-sign him. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not they do, because you're right. I mean, he is progressively getting better. So it's going to be a matter of whether or not teams are watching a lot of the earlier tape, or if they're going to go through and see the development and they see that he's continuing to get better and improve. I'll be really – I think they should keep him at this point, the way he's playing. Early in the season, I did not think they would re-sign him. Now, seeing the way he's progressing through and the things that are showing up on film for him, like – I hope it's not $10 or $12 million because we're not keeping him if it's that kind of a payday. But I think we should try to keep him.
You've got Broderick's 5th-year option. You've got Darnell Washington is going to get a contract.
I agree.
Benton should probably get a contract.
I agree.
It's just a matter of it gets interesting. are they going to franchise tag Benton, which is crazy expensive? I mean, with Black there, with Harmon, at some point Cam Edwards going to break down, but are you going to, I think if you could get him $8 to $12 million for maybe a 2-year deal, that's a really good deal for the Steelers, and it gives him a pretty significant raise. I'm just worried that he's going to hit the market and people are going to say, hey, 25 million. Kind of a Javon Hargrave thing where he plays so well at the end of his contract that he prices himself off the Steelers.
Yep. And he's ascending. He's not there. He's not in the Hargrave territory right now, but we're only halfway through the season too. He's ascending. Right. It's interesting. We'll see. But this is actually another James Pierre play on this one here. Top of the screen, Keenan Allen. I know he's an older receiver, but the dude is still a route running technician. Darius Slay would continue to be backpedaling on this play. And I think this is where I highlighted the difference between what James Pierre is bringing to the table as opposed to what Darius Slay was bringing to the table, because we saw the out routes against Darius Slay hit every single time because he just continues to backpedal and give ground. Pierre puts his foot in the dirt and just heads straight outside, running the route along with Keenan Allen, gets a nice pass breakup right here on a guy who is very dangerous, even for his age. What is Keenan Allen, 37?
He might be like 34, 35.
I know, I'm just messing around. He feels like he's been in the league forever. But he's still a very good route runner in the NFL. And I just thought this was a great way of highlighting the fact that Pierre is going to be more aggressive. He's probably going to give a big play up that maybe Slay wouldn't because of the experience of Slay. But I'm going to take this guy being aggressive all day long. Today he's 50. Yes, he is.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this is a guy Omar Khan seemed to have on his radar, but the rumors were that Keenan Allen flatly refused because of the Aaron Rodgers, Mike Williams drama to play with Aaron Rodgers. So even though Aaron's played pretty well this season, for the most part, he's struggled recently, but for the most part, he's played pretty well. This is a guy who, I always make the point of find a teammate who says a bad thing. Mike Williams says bad things, and he cost the Steelers, I think, Keenan Allen.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I was the biggest James Pierre hater in the world. He's playing really good football right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, the 6th year is the charm, I guess.
All right, this is Bob's guy, Y.A. Black. This is what I've been waiting for with this guy all season. You can see the Chargers start out in a double team look. Watch the way he anchors against the double team. He puts his feet into the ground. He does not move. You can see the center starting to come off. He kind of makes a mistake because he doesn't know whether to continue with Black, as Black did not move as expected. You think the guard and the center are going to push this guy back. He doesn't budge. And not only does he not budge, he fights through both of them to come up and just stonewall the running back in the hole. There was nowhere to go. Patrick Queen was getting ready to fill the hole. He didn't know where to go because both guys were still stuck on whether or not they're going to block Black. And then this is where the pass rush move, we've talked about this a couple of times. The guard just gets tossed to the ground on this. So that you can see the leverage of Y.A. Black and the strength. The guard is trying to anchor against this kid, and then he's finally starting to use his power and understand that because of his power, guys are going to try to accept that power and hold him back and push hard against him. He uses that leverage against the offensive lineman here by just ripping him straight to the ground. He's got the guy leaning forward. The guy has to do something because of how strong he is. The guard gets up. The guard actually is inside. I mean, if you talk about where you want to block, you want to be inside of those shoulder pads. And if you look where the hands are, they're in the proper placement. Black is just so powerful as just a human being that he's able to just fight through that anyway with his speed, or not really his speed, just his outright raw power, and just rips the guy to the ground and tosses him aside. It doesn't end in a sack. But I'm telling you right now, when I talked about this kid looks better than Derek Harmon right now, this is why. He's fighting off double teams in the hole at the nose. He's making plays in the run game. I almost threw another clip of him out there because there is another clip of him being double teamed right off the snap. The ball goes off tackle to the left, and he pushes both double team guys straight to the ball carrier and makes a play. This kid is coming on. I'm telling you, if you're not watching YA Black's tape, you need to start watching it because he really, really is starting to get it. He understands his power. He's starting to understand how to utilize his leverage. He's doing a little bit of that Cam Hayward, one arm like extended. And once he locks on to guys, they're having trouble with him right now. And his base, man, he's starting to really settle his base in against double teams, and he's locking down. He was getting pushed a little bit early in the season. You can see now he's figuring it out. The game's slowing down for him, I think, which is a big part of this. And I think Derek Harmon's getting there too. Derek Harmon's not playing bad, so don't take this the wrong way because I've said this a few times. I'm not knocking Derek Harmon. He's playing pretty well. But YA Black is on a straight trajectory up. And I'm here for every second of it. If you got this guy in the 5th round, man, I think we got a steal.
Yeah, and Andy Weidel, I mean, say what you want about the Omar Khan and Andy Weidel can't find a wide receiver, but they can find some fucking linemen. This guy's pretty good. I mean, Broderick was their first swing. He's still a work in progress. I think they are going to re-sign him. I mean, at least pick up the 5th-year option because left tackles are not cheap. See Dan Moore. But Zach Frazier. I think McCormick is coming on. I've always been a big McCormick fan. He hasn't been great, but I think he gets better each year. And Fatano looks like the real deal. And now you turn it over. Yeah. Harmon looks like he's the real deal. Benton is turning out. It took him a couple of years, but Benton is turning out. And now YA Black is turning out. So, and if Weidel built Philly, he helped build Philly. He built the trenches. That's what he's known for. That's what he's good at. Look, if we can build the trenches and become the big uglies, I still think there is room in the NFL for power football, but your quarterback needs to hold the ball more than a couple seconds to do it.
Yes. And I think for the first time all season now, when you're watching the tape, you feel good about the future behind Cam Hayward.
Yes.
The 3 young guys in the interior. If Cam were to get injured in this season, which I really hope, because I'll be honest with you, Cam Hayward's playing some freaking phenomenal football right now. But I feel really good about the 3 guys that we have, aside from Cam Hayward, on this defensive line group now for the first time.
Yeah, and, for Sid, I think even Tomlin can't screw up YA Black because he is the one thing, and this is why I was so high on early on in the year. If you watch the podcast early in the year, I love this guy. I want to see a sack so bad so we can get a belly celly. I mean, you cannot teach this kid's power. You cannot teach this kid's power. And now that he's realizing, hey, there's not 2 guys in the NFL who can actually move me. And I'm settling in because, like you said, it's slowing down for him. I think he was getting a little too, I got to go with the play. Versus, hey, I'm just going to stand here and eat 2 blocks. And then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. When he's playing in the rundowns, he's playing on the nose a lot more, which I think actually is helping him. And it's really helping our run defense too, because he is immovable. And a lot of these teams in the run game, they like to run these duo concepts where the 2 blockers start on him and then one's supposed to break off to climb to the next level to get the linebacker, but he's keeping both guys. And that's why you're seeing guys like Patrick Queen running free and Peyton Wilson starting to run free. And I talked about this all offseason. I kept saying the linebackers are not the problem, and they are in some ways, don't get me wrong, because I'm going to point out something with Patrick Queen here before too long. But they need to be able to run free in a 3-4 defense. You have to have the defensive lineman who can absorb 2 guys in the run game and not let them come off and climb to the second level, because we have small linebackers. If you let the lineman get to the second level, that's a big problem for our linebacker core. YA Black, Derek Harmon, they're doing a great job of absorbing this.
Just to jump in real quick, this is huge. I don't know how long or how well he's going to play, but having Isaac against the Bengals, we can really see the jumbo package today, and we should be in it all fucking game because Cincinnati cannot stop it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
All right. That was another James Pierre play right there, actually, on the back end of it. This is the Patrick Queen play, I believe. Derek Harmon, watch Derek Harmon on this play. Goodbye. Fights through two guys. That opens up Patrick Queen. Now, here's the problem that I'm having with Patrick Queen this year. He does a great job of shooting the gap and getting in there, and he does slow down the running back, but he leads the NFL by a mile in missed tackles. He's already got 20 missed tackles on the season. That is a number that is high for the end of the season. The problem is we're at the midway point. So he's got a free shot right here. And this is a bit of a tough tackle. So this might be a little tough on tape to just say, Patrick Queen should have had this. But if you're getting paid what he gets paid as a middle linebacker, you want to see him finish this play. I thought he did a great job of getting in there. Derek Harmon did a phenomenal job of shedding both linemen in that scenario that are trying to double team him. And he really helps Patrick Queen make the play, and he gets in on the tackle along with TJ Watt, and I don't know who else is in the pile there. I don't know if that was Eccles or not, but this is just another showing of, number one, the young defensive line that we have playing really, really well. Patrick Queen.
That's Darius Slay.
Oh, it was Darius Slay. Must have been just early enough in the game. Holy shit, a Darius Slay sighting.
I know, right?
So
I think
all
this
right.
just bled over into that just bled over.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, I like some of the progression of the defense because the defensive line is playing so much better. I love Jalen Ramsey and Kyle Duggar playing in the back end of this defense. I would not change that. I don't care if Peppers is dressed or not. I know we talked, Tomlin talked about maybe Peppers and Duggar being the two safeties. What they're doing with Jalen Ramsey on the back end, coming out in two high looks, having him sometimes come up to the line of scrimmage and play as a true cover corner out of that look, disguising coverages. They're rotating a little bit. They've simplified the defense. The pass rush is starting to get home as a result of taking away the big play. And we have limited a lot of the big plays that were happening to us early on. Against the Cincinnati Bengals team, I think the two high safety look is going to make us more comfortable guarding Jamar Chase, allow the corners to be a little bit more aggressive on these out routes and these slant routes that he's running. And it's going to allow a little bit, because I want to keep, you're going to want to play inside leverage on these guys. I know he killed us on some out routes, but he really killed us on the slants. Let's just be honest. He was destroying us on the slants. But if you're in a too high look, you do not want to give them the middle of the field. You want the safeties to be over top on the sideline stuff. I really think that if we let the corners play press man and play an inside leverage out of press man, that's our key to slowing down the Bengals in this one, and it allows the pass rush time to get home. That's the big key.
Yep. And then someone a bigger hitter than James Pierre.
I definitely was.
Dave was not a fan, which is unusual because Pierre's still under 30.
That's true. I was a huge Pierre hater. I could not stand seeing him step on the field. But listen, give him credit. He's playing really good ball right now, and he does give us some flexibility because he's that same prototype of Joey Porter Jr. or Corey Trice, and everybody who's been calling for Corey Trice to step on the field. James Pierre's Corey Trice right now. He's playing good football. He's long. He's athletic. He's big. He's not quite fast, but he's the same prototype. He's 6'2", I think. Is he 190?
Yeah. Who's the corner they promoted?
I don't know him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I looked at it. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I did not know him at all.
Yeah. Did Samuel get a hat? I thought he got a hat.
I did not see that he was dressed for this game. I didn't see him or MVS.
You know, I'm really surprised they didn't dress MVS. I'm really surprised.
I was too.
Which could be Roman Wilson has a big game, but he better have a big game.
Yeah. Listen, the Bengals secondary is atrocious, and they have no pass rush. If our offense cannot light up this week, you've got big questions about what we do the rest of the season as an offense.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. I do think we'll score. I think we're going to score 38 plus in this game today. But if this game ends up 23-20 or 19-16, a Bengals slop fest, which does happen every year, even with Joe Burrow in the game, it was 19-16 in one of the games, as bad as their defense was last year too. So
Yeah.
This has to be a get right game for the offense. I think the next two, the Bears defense is a little better, but I mean, let's face it, they gave up 500 yards to Cincinnati, and they've also been had a couple of times this year. That'll be a better test for the defense next week. I actually think the Bears defense might actually be a little better than the Bengals offense as a complete unit next week. I think their offensive line's a little bit better. I think the quarterback's worse, but there's no Jamar Chase on the field, but they've got, and they're on a roll.
They've got weapons though.
Yeah, they've got weapons. So these are two must-have games for the Steelers. The Steelers have got to be 7-4 when Buffalo comes calling.
Sid, the ever never-ending optimist here. Listen, I really think Roman Wilson's playing a lot better than what his numbers suggest. Calvin had by far the worst game of his NFL career last week. And I think that the issues with Calvin Austin are the same now as when his draft profile came out. His catch radius, number one, he's small. It was already small. But his catch radius is horrible, and it's not gotten better. And that's a lot of the problem. And we saw him drop a couple balls. One of them leads to an interception. Another was a really easy slant route where, I mean, he had all day to catch the ball and run, and he struggled last week. He's not getting open when he plays on the outside as the Z receiver. Roman Wilson is getting open. It's just a matter of Aaron trusting him, Aaron putting the ball in his hands. That's where we're at with Roman, and that's why I keep coming up with these Roman Wilson talking points, is because when I'm watching all 22, I'm watching this kid run wide open all over the freaking field.
Tomlin will treat it like it's a draft thing. Look, I'm telling you guys, all you Tomlin haters, I've been preaching fire Tomlin since the Saints game when he faked the punt 7-8 years ago. Okay. That was ridiculous. He gave away the playoffs off of some bullshit. That being said, I'm telling you, and I made this point the other night, root for him to win out or get very close. If he doesn't pass Noel, he's back next year. He may be back next year anyway, but if he passes Noel, then the drum will beat. And that means he has a great end of the year and people will be throwing flowers at him. But I'm telling you, they want him to break Noel's regular season record, and they're not going to do anything until that happens. Might not do anything after, but it's until he breaks that record, we're stuck with Mike Tomlin.
Here's what I want to see offensively from our standpoint in this game as well. Cord pointed out Isaac Seumalo is active. Will he start? If he starts, does Aaron show more trust in the offensive line? Will he hold the ball? Will he give these guys time to develop the route concepts that we need to be doing? Will we see the shots downfield like what we saw in that Pat Freiermuth clip? I really want to see him get rid of this. Like he's got this he's seen ghost thing going on right now. I want to see him stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. Quit with the happy feet. Let's freaking get this thing going, man. We got to get this offense cooking.
Yep. I was talking to my brother this week. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Brett. But he likened it a lot to Tom Brady's last season, where it was a good game. Then it was come on, that's not Brady. And if you remember, the Bucs ended up 8-9, but made the playoffs. But you could tell it was over. If Aaron played 2 or 3 games like he did last week, it's over. But if he bounces back and has a good game this week, Brady played till he's 45. Aaron's only 42. He did have the Achilles, but he's in pretty good shape and he's moving a little better. So I expect a big bounce back game. He's probably going to have 1 or 2 more bad games down the stretch. But if he can play just like he did the first half and throw 35, 36 touchdown passes and limit the interceptions, we're not playing huge pass rushes. We do get the Browns. The Ravens don't have a great pass rush.
No.
Buffalo's going to be a problem because they're going to get pressure up the middle. And I do not want to see that game. I'm really hoping something goes wrong. And the Lions game, I think that's going to be a problem too. But Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Bears, Dolphins, he's playing some defenses that he can work against. So let's see what happens.
Yep. Do you want to play this game? We gave score predictions on Friday on the Steelers Sanctuary podcast, and you kind of alluded to one already. So I think I said 35-14.
Yeah.
I called a blowout, which that might be the bold prediction. But if you want to do a bold prediction aside from the score prediction,
Aaron throws for 300 yards.
that would be the first as a Steeler.
Yep. 249
And-
against the Bengals was his previous high.
Yep. That would be definitely a bold prediction. All right. I am going to go with. I'm going to stick with my theme because I've been banging on this drum for, I think, 3 weeks now. Roman Wilson, 80 yards and a touchdown.
Interesting. I from a score perspective, I'm holding to the 38-28. I think the difference in this game being at home versus the road is Flacco will turn the ball over. It'll either be a fumble, a tipped interception, but there's going to be a turnover here. And I think that is the difference in the game. And instead of it being 33-31, who has the ball last, Flacco turns it over. We get out to, a 10 or 14 point lead, and it just flies back and forth from there. Look, Cincinnati's going to score. They're going to score a lot. But that being said, I told you, we got to stop them twice. Get one turnover and one 3-and-out or turnover on downs or whatever you got to do. We stop them twice, we win the game.
Yeah. Here, DMC, I'll clarify. It will not be a garbage time touchdown, and it will not have most of his yards in garbage time this time. I think he gets open. I think Aaron gets him the ball a little bit. I think Roman Wilson has his breakout game.
Yep. And just a reminder, like I said earlier, if you're looking for a fantasy tight end and your bye weeks or Dalton Kincaid is hurt and the waiver wire's thin, consider the Bengals killer Pat Freiermuth, because I also think I don't know if he gets 100+ yards, although it's always a possibility against the Bengals, but I feel like 4 for 65 and a touchdown is pretty safe for Pat this week.
Yeah, he's had that, I think, every single time he's played them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think he had his best game as a pro, like 120, 130 yards a couple of years ago against them with Kenny Pickett throwing.
He did. In Cincinnati, I think, wasn't it? That was the one he caught that seam route. And
yeah, the Matt Canada fired Matt Canada the first game out.
Yes, and he took the seam route right down the middle of his first play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So we got anything else before we get out of here and get prepped for the game?
I think I'm good if you're good. I appreciate, again, everybody who's joined in today and love the comment section. Again, this is a new segment for us that we're actually turning into a whole show. If you guys have some things that you want to see us break down or things you want to see on tape, let us know. I don't know how long it took you to do the clips, Bob. I had at least 2.5 hours wrapped up in going through the film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time consuming. We're doing this. We want this to be impactful for you guys who are watching. Love the comments. Share anything, feedback, good, bad, otherwise, that you want to share with us so that we can try to keep this thing improving.
All right. Sounds good. Well, hopefully it's Steelers victory, and we'll be breaking down Steelers victory Monday. If nothing else, root for it, because Dave will be upset that the Steelers won.
The Black Cloud.
He was the only one to pick the Bengals. So
he was.
Root hard for the Steelers today. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.